you know, we talked about this. I know you did on your radio show. I did on mine. If the games are close in this series, advantage Nuggets because they know how to close. At the end of this game, so many clutch plays by so many clutch players. Aaron Gordon's 3 to tie it up. And then in the overtime, total domination. Guys, if it's close, Nuggets win.
They do win because they have the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic. And then they just have a host of other guys who make plays, and they have done this over and over again throughout the years. You know, this is kind of the nightmare for Oklahoma City, and this is exactly the space that the Nuggets want to live in, which is let's get these games to the last 5 minutes, and then we will make the plays because we know how to do that. Oklahoma City, still a young team, still learning how to finish out this kind of stuff.
And somewhere Bill Hanslick is, and let me pick up Bill's mantle.
Oh, yeah.
Says down here. I thought they were outstanding defensively. They figured some things out, even at halftime down 56-51. But they go 14-2 to end the regulation and overtime.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. Look, defensively, I really don't want to even gloss over this, Scott, because defensively they were amazing. Oklahoma City took 104 shots in this game.
Wow.
104.
Wow.
And you had to survive all of that. They only made 40 of them. They shot 38% in this game. And that defense was, yeah, absolutely.
At that point right there, you're looking at the highlights, did not look good until AG, corner 3, ties it at the end of regulation. And then in the overtime, they did not look at all like the Oklahoma City team we're used to seeing. They could not buy a bucket.
Well, and Joker 0 for 10 from 3 tonight. That was going to be a 2. That looked good. He thought that was good, too, to end it. They were down 102-99 going into to that shot by AG. And then overtime, they dominated.
They just took over. They did whatever they wanted offensively. You can see, look how they get paint touches out to 3.
How about that man right there? How about the one-armed Michael Porter Jr., who finishes 5 of 6 from 3, 21 points.
Yeah, he was instrumental in this game, and we'll definitely dive into him a little bit more.
And the key to this team, if they were to some way find a way to win this series and advance, they'll only do it. And maybe Mike didn't go 5 or 6 from 3, but he's got to be a contributor and a threat. The way they play defensively and they clog the lane, he's got to be that threat out there, doesn't he?
Yeah, they were fabulous on defense. They were fabulous.
The Nuggets had 4 players that scored 20-plus tonight, but none more important than Michael Flamethrower Jr., who's with our Katie Wingy downstairs. Let's go.
All right, Mike, it took bonus basketball to get this job done in overtime, 11-2. Describe the execution in that period from your team.
Yeah, I mean, we executed great in overtime. We played defense. You know, but it all started with Aaron Gordon's 3 in the corner. So just proud of the whole team.
Your guys' ability to win close, win ugly, high scoring, low scoring. How would you describe this team's ability to just find a way to win?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in this situation before. We stayed poised. Like I said, AG hit that big 3 in the corner to send it to overtime, like he's been doing all playoffs. And it was a huge win.
I know you're not 100%. You said after the last game you needed to be better. How did you go out and do just that in this game tonight?
Yeah, I had to tough it out. I had to put a little shot in my shoulder and thug it out.
How was the home court advantage here for you tonight?
Oh, best fans in the world. We knew we were going to have a bounce-back game. Shout out to the fans.
Congrats, Mike. Thank you.
Michael Porter Jr.'s night. You saw him in the first 2 games. He had 10 points combined. Tonight, wouldn't miss. Came out shooting, came out swinging, finished with 21, 7 of 10 from the field. And don't discount those 8 rebounds.
Because those are one-armed rebounds.
Huge rebounds.
Yeah, one-armed rebounds right there.
Well, how about the play where he was on the ground, got landed on that shoulder, fought for the ball as well. Michael Porter Jr. was amazing today. And, you know, you have to give him so much credit for the pain that he's enduring to be able to even walk out onto the court and play these games, and then to be able to perform the way he did in this one tonight after having not performed the way he wanted to. I mean, he talked in the locker room after the last game about playing better, and then he just went out and did that. So, you know.
But you know what he did? He shot aggressively. And I said this before the game, and I really mean it. I think there's a you know the pain's there.
Yes.
And there's a fear that every time I rise up, I'm going to get that knife stuck in that joint. I've had 2 surgeries here, 1 surgery here, so I can tell you know that pain's coming. And I think it overwhelmed him in those first 2 games. He put it aside, whether he got a little cortisone or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He put it aside tonight, and you saw those highlights we just showed you. He wasn't thinking about it. And if they're to go on and beat Oklahoma City in this series, Porter's going to be a big factor.
Well, when we come back, we're going to hear from Coach David Adelman, who, I tell you what, he was riding the same wave we were tonight. Hey, Nuggets fans, the Nuggets are 2 wins away from the Western Conference Finals. What a finish here at Ball Arena. You are watching Nuggets Postgame Live. We'll hear from head coach David Adelman when we do Nuggets Postgame Live here at Ball Arena. Vic Lombardi, Chris Dempsey, and Scott Hastings.
Let me throw it.
All right, throw it. You got a better. Oh, you got.
I got to catch it though.
Hey, before we go to Coach Adelman, let's hear from some folks in the crowd here that may have some questions. Let's start with. Hey, wait a minute. Are mascots supposed to talk?
Well, when they're young.
Okay, when they're young. Okay.
We got 'em up here.
They lose their voices when they get to teenage. Right. Go ahead, young.
Do you think that the outcome of the series affects the outcome of the MVP race?
No, because the MVP race is voted on during the regular season.
Yeah, they've already voted on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it feels like in the next 3 or 4 days it's going to be announced. To be honest with you.
Yep.
So, yeah, it won't have any decision.
Hopefully, it's announced Tuesday night. No KC when they're down 3-1 in the series.
That would be good.
Right? Young man, what's your name?
Romeo.
Romeo. What you got for us, buddy?
Do you think we would have gotten this far with our old coach?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a very tough question to answer.
Ooh.
Well, look, here's how.
We had a boss over there, and I noticed he ducked.
Here's how I'll answer that question. What David Adelman has done since taking over, I think has given them the extra juice to be able to do what they are now doing in the playoffs. And it's not just X's and O's, or they're doing something different defensively, which they did all the things defensively today. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But it's empowering the players to communicate amongst themselves and to have more ownership in the team. It's also, for him, it's extra ideas and just extra energy, and then the clearing out of the air. So I think his promotion to where he's doing right now has just been kind of the breath of fresh air that this team has needed and has allowed them to be able to play really well.
Anybody here have a messy house? You have a messy house and you get kind of upset. You got a messy house, and then you clean it out and you go, dang, this house is pretty cool after all, right? They cleaned a little house, not only personnel